Everyone, it's Sunday, March 8th, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. So this week saw the coronavirus become a serious issue in more countries, with the U.S. working to manage its own emerging cases. Also this weekend, Italy took drastic measures, locking down Lombardy, which includes Venice and Milan. Also, 14 other provinces have travel restrictions, and all of this is in an effort to contain the rapid spread of the virus that Italy has been seeing over the past couple of weeks. European editor Andrea Guolo is currently in Bologna, and he notes that the lockdown does not include Arzignano or Tuscany for the moment, but it does indeed include some important footwear, leather goods, and upholstery manufacturers that fall within that lockdown zone. Watch our reports this week as Andrea provides more details as he can get them. Speaking of Europe, during the past week, the price of English 36 plus ox was stable, mostly due to slaughter being stable, and prices were generally steady, with last sales selling from 85 to 87 pence. In Ireland, the price is generally 90 to 95 cents in euros, although Andrea says there were no major deals done during the week. The cow market only saw some spot orders during the week, and consequently prices were stable. European bulls were also stable. Automotive demand has slowed a bit. However, southern German origins were still selling at €1.40 per kilo. With regard to veal skins, nothing has changed during the week, and the best French skins were selling for €6.50 per kilo. In his analysis, Andrea says that tanneries expect a decrease of 500 million euros due to the effects of the coronavirus, and that was before the lockdown announced this weekend. He discusses this situation as well as what this entire crisis means for the luxury sector, even as China slowly spurts back to life with regard to business. Turning to the U.S., prices were lower again this past week as producers tried to keep material moving. It's also an odd market, with prices varying greatly on any one selection. Sellers say that this is because the price level depends entirely on the individual buyer, the volume involved in the sale, and the terms of the sale. For regular weight heavy Texas steers, trades ranged from $19 to $21 on 66-68 pounds, which is pretty close to the previous week. Other selections saw an even wider range in their prices of up to $5 between the high and the low. U.S. slaughter for the week was 3% more than the previous week at an estimated 647,000. With regard to exports, total raw and wet blue hides sold was just 455,300, down from the previous week. Shipments were at 454,800, which was down 10% from the previous week, and that too was down about 11%. In our observations this week, we look at the odd state of the market because of the coronavirus and how China may be slowly getting back to business, but their purchasing is still below par. From South America, editor Ronald Guiel reports from Brazil that the price of raw materials took another big leap this week. Fresh hides are now at 81 cents in reals per kilo, and in dollars they are at 18 U.S. cents. Sellers will have a hard time passing on these higher rates to customers, so it remains to be seen what's going to happen with that. With regard to TR1, prices were stable at 65 U.S. cents per square foot. In other news from Brazil, preliminary data shows that leather exports were again lower in February. With regard to footwear, for the month of February alone, 10.6 million pairs were exported from Brazil, valued at US 75.2 million, and these were decreases of 3.3% in pairs and 10% in revenues compared to the same month in 2019. This upcoming week, Brazil is going to host the FEMEC Fair, so we will have news on that next week. From elsewhere in Latin America, Argentine tanning and leather goods were down 12.7% in January. Mexico reported that its domestic footwear market was stagnant in 2019, and a tannery in Paraguay has denied conducting illicit waste treatment. So that's all we have for tonight. Stay tuned to our reports for the latest on the effects of the coronavirus in Italy and elsewhere. And other than that, until next week, good night from HideNet.